Hello everyone, my name is Cap, and welcome back to the channel. Another 7 days of that video. I'm doing all this in Alpha 16.4 on the PC. Now, when Alpha 17 comes out, what I'm doing today may or may not work very good, because what I'm going to do, let me get into fly mode here so I can show you, is I'm going to build an underwater base. Kind of take you guys along with me here, try and build some of it on video, some of it off of the little towering parts of it, and just kind of see what we can kind of come up with. I thought it'd be kind of fun, and the reason why we're doing it underwater is because, well, we don't have any volcanoes to make a supervillain base, and so an underwater one is the next best step. But when Alpha 17 comes out, they are supposedly reintroducing the ability for zombies to dig downwards again, so this may or may not be a good thing. So what we're going to do is, I'm over here, I'll show you where I'm at on the map here, just kind of up in the northwest side of it. You can see this little lake here. I'm on Navezgane, and the main reason why is just because the flat area of the lake is not that far from shore. Now, yes, I am in fly mode or whatever, because water is like flying through molasses if you're just trying to swim, so I really don't want to have to do that. So, without further ado, let's kind of get started. Okay, so here's the plan. What I did was I went out to where I'm going to be doing this, and I stacked up some wood frames just to see how high this is. Now, it's about 15 blocks. If I go down to the bottom here, you can see I'm at negative 16 meters up at the top there. Up at the surface here where it's even, I'm at, negative 2. So if I need to go down about 16, 17 blocks, and a little bit higher because I'm on the ground over here, so I need to get to about negative 18 on elevation. And what I'm going to do is just kind of dig a tunnel straight down over here and straight out. I need to go about 45 blocks over, and that'll put me right about to the square. Now, what I originally thought about doing was using a bunch of hay bales and making a little, a spot under the water where the hay would subtract the water, because you can use hay to displace the water, and that way it doesn't go back. But I'll show you real quick what happens if you get everything going in the wrong direction. You get this weird swell because it completely messes up the water source blocks. It made everything look all tacky and ugly, and I don't want that to happen. So I decided, instead of just building over there, I just moved upriver a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right over here. I think I have a test hole started somewhere. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be digging a tunnel. I'm going to go down to about the negative 18 level on here and dig straight out. And once I get there, then I'll be underneath it, and I can start adding a ceiling to kind of see where I'm at. And we're going to get a glass floor that's straight along the bottom. So let's get the building started, shall we? Okay, well, we made some progress. As you can see, the tunnel goes a good long ways down here, but as you can see by what appears to be flowing water, we ran into a little bit of an issue. It turns out digging underwater, literally under the water, is a little bit challenging. So what I ended up doing is I made just a small room. Let me go into fly mode so I can move through here, and you can see that water accidentally collapsed in. So what I'm in the process of doing now is stacking up some hay bales inside this thing so I can try and get it to displace the water, and I can get back to my base. And then I've got to do some ground repairs outside, but at least there's a few spots where the source block of the water isn't pulsing through here, so I can catch my breath. But this was a pretty good sized decent disaster, and yeah, I'm gonna do some upgrades on the walls and all that other stuff, but pretty much while I was building this, everything caved in on top of me. It wasn't very fun at all, and it wasn't cool. I worked a long time to clear all this out for it to just fall on top of my head, so not really a big fan of that. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I didn't want to use hay bales on top of the ground over there because I didn't want it to mess up the flow of the source blocks and make it all look stupid. And lo and behold, it did anyway. So, unfortunately, what I'm having to do is do some massive repairs of stuff and, hope I can actually get it fixed and, get all the water out of here so I can make it my underwater base. Now, again, I know a lot of people are just like, what is the point? Why are you even bothering making this sort of thing? Especially if Alpha 17, if they're going to make it so that zombies can still dig down. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, what I need to do, and I know people hate when you see doing this in video, but I'm going to God mode, the way I can turn off clipping and go up here and go check out to make sure I have all the dirt blocks filled in around this silly little thing. That way it's not easing it around the corners in case I missed one. See, I didn't know for certain if I had that corner there, so I'm trying to keep it nice and flush, so when the zombies do show up down here, I can keep it nice and flat and make it nice and pretty looking. So I'm gonna have to do some tidying up, because right now this is just ugly. See, if I turn this off or whatever, I got to make it so that it's nice and flat. So I'll probably have to use some plates down here and make it all nice and squared off a little bit. But hopefully I got all the water out here. So we'll head back down inside. We're doing no clipping mode again here to get back inside. I know people, like I said, hate people see me do that, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So got motor clippings off. Okay, let's go pick up the hay bales and see. Whoops. By the way, I always pick up from the top down, because when hay falls, especially underwater, it causes all kinds of displacement issues. You get some serious frame drops here. I was dropping all kinds of frames while I was trying to fix this problem earlier. And I was just like, oh yeah, don't pick up from the bottom. Watch the whole stack collapse on top of you. Okay, so far so good. I don't exactly have a whole lot of faith that this is going to stay. I got to make sure not to accidentally pick up any of the wood frames, which I am going to upgrade those, of course, and do some painting and stuff in here to make it look nice and cool. But in the meantime, just trying to get the water out of here, because, like I said, everything went terribly, terribly wrong in here. So let's get all this kind of cleaned up, and then we'll pick up from there. Alright, so we got all the water out of here now, and I added up an extra wall over there. This is as big as I'm going to make the room here. Now, if I was really going to spend a whole lot of time on this, I might think about leaving all the space like here, and I could dig out an additional room. But I don't want to make this any wider than about 6 by 6, you know, the glass going across here, just because I don't want to start dealing with structural issues where I accidentally get too far apart between the walls, and then everything just collapses in on me because I stretched out too far. And I know there's tricks you can do, you know, here and there to make it actually a viable solution, but right at the moment this is just for kind of proof of concept purposes. So now what we need to do, let's see, let's get our paintbrush here. Where's our paintbrush here? Okay, so alright, now we need to, let's see, let's go with alright, what do we want here as far as carpets? Or we want some carpet in here? Yeah, we'll go with this kind of look right here. Okay, so let's get some paint in here, make it look all nice and pretty, add some aesthetics to this room. Alright, so now we got the carpet in here, have a nice little entryway, and it could put in a door right here to separate it and kind of keep it locked off, but I don't know, I'm going to have it kind of sealed off on that end. Hopefully the zombies won't figure out how to get in here with me. Alright, so let's figure out what we want to do as far as a texture for the walls. Let's see, we got, I always like this, I always like going with this, where's it at here, this redwood in here, but I think we'll go with something a little bit different. We could just do basic plywood, tree trunk pine's good. These are all outside exterior, or a lot of them are outside exteriors, but they look good inside. You know, let's go with barnwood, that'll look good in here, I think so. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good, for being an underground bunker. I don't necessarily mind, so we'll get the rest of this room painted here. Okay, so we got the walls painted here, this nice little worn down barn look here after having all this up here. I'm not entirely sure I like this as much, but no big deal. Okay, so before we finish doing all the aesthetics here, we need to go finish up the other side. So let's just go check this out real quick. I'm going to worry about upgrading all the floor and stuff here later. What we need to do is we need to make sure we can get a hatch up there and a actual ladder system to climb down. So I'm going to go ahead and fly up here and make sure everything's all nice and kosher and there's none of these zombies coming at us. I got this on flat ground here. Where am I at here? Came out of the wrong. Okay, so I got it at a flat ground here. You can see how it messed up some of the water source over there. It's kind of jacked up and, you know, kind of off-centered from where I put those frames, but not really a big deal. Alright, let me get rid of this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight down from here. Okay, alright, so we connected the floor here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up on top of this one, basically nerd pull my way up. And yes, I'm flying just to make it a little easier, but all you have to do is just nerd pull up, and this way I can put a ladder flat on that side, and I can get this all the way flush up to the ground here, and then I'll be able to put a hatch over the top of this and put some plates around there. Got one more here. Alright, so let's see, need some ladders. Doesn't necessarily matter what quality of ladders I get here, so as long as I get the face in the right direction so I can actually climb down them. Alright, so we got ladders all the way up to the top here, so what I need to do is go through. I'm going to upgrade that one just so I can kind of see where the top of it is here. Let's see, need some wooden plates. Where are they at? Wood plates, don't need any more ladders, get rid of those. Okay, so what we can do now is we kind of do like this. I'm going to have to knock down that tree, but not a big deal. And what this will do is keep it nice and flat all the way around it. Put one on top there so it's all nice and similar looking. Get rid of this tree. Put one plate there so now it's nice and flush. Let's see, we'll do just a regular wood hatch here. And yeah, right there looks good. Okay, so get rid of this real quick. And so now this opens up and we can get straight back down there. All that is looking good. Now I need to get those plates back because I'm stupid and forgot. Let's see, we'll just do the wood plates here. I need to go back under the water over here and fix some of this ground here so it's nice and flush all the way around it, because I don't want zombies getting in on top of me here and, you know, accidentally tripping the edge of it and start punching a hole. Now, like I said, when Alpha 17 gets here and they can start digging, this may not even be a valid solution anymore. But, you know, for the time being in Alpha 16, this still works out for anybody who's going to be playing Alpha 16. And additionally, after 17 gets, then, yeah, then, you know, this will still work out here. As you can see, it's kind of dropping some frames as I'm doing this. As I'm placing these blocks and stuff here, it's moving the dirt around and it's displacing the water. Water just does not like you moving it around. You can see it's got this weird little vortex here. See, like this whole area, I can like fly down in the middle of it. There's no water blocks here, and that looks like it's you can see through the world and stuff there. I hate that it does this, but water is so finicky. I'm hoping with 17 coming out and stuff that they fix some of this here. All right, so let me let's see here. Okay, so I'm walking along the bottom. I want to make sure this is nice and flush all the way around here so the zombies can't accidentally trip over it and hit some stuff. And I think it is pretty much good to go here. And you see I don't have... It just doesn't look pretty. It's not as pretty as I want it to look. I'm going to do some decorating inside or whatever. But for the most part, this is about as good as we need to get for the exterior here. The zombies will just kind of chill out and... walk right over the top of this when they do get there. The water will slow them down, but it's not going to stop them. They're not, they don't drown or anything. So, all right, I may have to put out a flag or something so I don't keep losing my damn hatch. Here it is. All right, so let's get some lighting and stuff going in here next. All right, we're doing just some basic level lighting here. I threw a couple torches up on the tree, so mostly just at night I can kind of see where this is. All right, we got the hatch. Let's go down here and check it out. Down. Let's go down. Close the hatch. Alright, so head down here. Upgraded the floor all the way to just a regular wood block. Threw a couple torches in here. And about every 10 blocks or so, I did a little cutout on the side and put just a wall torch in there. So it kind of gives us this cool little illumination down the hallway. Now, so if people ask me, why didn't you make it 3 high so it doesn't look like you're hitting your head on there? I didn't want to. And being under the water, I didn't want to risk causing another cave in because that sucks. But we got plenty of light in here now. If I turn this off, and of course at night it's going to get a little bit dark, so I'm going to do some lighting stuff in here first. But, you know, we need to add some decorations in here first. Alright, so I don't need wood plates anymore. I'm going to hang on to the hay just in case things go bad. Alright, so let's see. We get one large TV left, one large TV right. I mean, you can't have an underground base without a gigantic TV on the wall here. So, okay, so we'll put that one there. We'll put this one there. Alright. So now we need to get our paintbrush again because we need to, you know, make this look like we actually have some sort of entertainment here. Alright, so get rid of that. Let's see, where's that at here? Alright, so what we'll do is we'll just make it look like we got a nice little beer cooler down here because, you know, if you're going to be watching TV, you got to have beer. Turn that off so you can see that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, oh dang, look, there's a lot of beer too. We're going to be stocked when we get this set up here. Alright, so now we need a chair. Let's go with our good old leather chair here, yeah. Just a nice little leather chair. Sit and watch some TV. Rotate that around. We'll put you right there. Got a nice little corner here. Alright, let's get a table in here. We'll get, let's see, where's a Ooh, get one with a lamp on it. That just looks pretty. It's too bad you can't turn the actual light on these. It would be kind of cool to be able to light it up. I'm hoping maybe like future updates you'll be able to connect these to some sort of electrical source, and that will be good enough. And I think that's pretty much it as far as needing that right there. Alright, so let's see. We'll need some supply boxes down here, of course. So let me see, a nice little storage box. We'll put that one right here. First aid supplies, and we gotta have one for weapons, of course. Of course, this isn't the real boxes. You can actually craft these real boxes, but just for the time being, I'm just kind of, adding for aesthetics and stuff so it looks cool down here. I'm not going to worry about doing electrical lights just because that's such a pain to try and run cable and stuff through the glass and out there. And plus, if there's zombies running over the top of this glass, they're just going to hit the lights anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But I will put some lights down here so when it gets dark enough, you can actually see what's going on. Probably just basic torches because, well, that's about all that's needed. All right, how about we'll do... let's see. Ooh, how about a painting of the lake house since we are actually here? Let's see. We'll do that right above the chair. That looks good. Right there. Nice. Okay. It's a little bit low, but it's okay. We got a nice little painting here. That's an okay start to the house. No big deal. All right. So let's get some torches. We're going to get the cool looking wall torches here because they're not as gigantic as those cave torches are here. That's what I have. That right there is just a basic wall torch. Of course, it's kind of floating in a weird spot. And so we'll put one right up there. We'll put one right up there. One right there. And one right there. Alright, so get rid of this out of my hand. Turn off my torch. My head torch, that is. And that's got a nice little ambient glow to it. That kind of looks cool. So this will be the underwater man cave. This is kind of cool. I like this. Turns out pretty good. What do you guys think? Any you guys done any other bigger bases than this? And I'm sure you have. Now, I've done underwater bases before too that are a little bit more in depth than this, but having the little moon roof going on there and totally messing up the water source, that's always fun. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. It's been a long video, but this one's been kind of fun to play with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button down below the video. And be sure to subscribe if you're not already so you don't miss on future videos. And smash that little bell icon and you'll get notified when a new one goes live. So I think I'm just going to pop a squat over here and get ready to watch some tube. Not too much longer till dinner time. Anyway, thank you guys so much for all your support. You have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.